The really important stuff was asked by Congressman of Ohio, a Republican, and he pointed to three pieces of evidence that showed clearly, indubitably, indisputably, that Hillary Clinton knew this was a premeditated, pre-planned terrorist attack.
Dick Morris on this program last week saying that courtesy of Congressman Jim Jordan, the GOP has the smoking gun it needs following Hillary Clinton's testimony before the Benghazi Select Committee. This, as newly released emails reveal Mrs. Clinton's Benghazi testimony conflicts with State Department emails. According to the newly released e-messages, she may have known the cause much sooner than she let on. For more on this and other subjects, once again, we welcome in the aforementioned political analyst, Dick Morris. He is Skyping in from Connecticut. Dick, of course, is the co-author of the bestseller Power Grab, Obama's Dangerous Plan for a One-Party Nation. And as always, Dick, we thank you for your time on Newsmax Prime. Are Republicans in a position to take advantage of the information that is out there, both courtesy of the hearing and in subsequent reports?
Yeah, I think that they are. I think that the hearing made it very clear. She sent an email to Chelsea saying this was a terrorist attack. We lost two good men. That was before the other two died. She told the Prime Minister of Egypt that the video had nothing to do with it. She told the president of Libya that this was an operation by a splinter group of Al-Qaeda. And it was obvious that she knew that this was a terror attack at the very same moment she was going before the country trying to sell the idea that it was a video gone bad.
And yet, according to the new Wall Street Journal NBC News poll, Hillary's perception and popularity is on the rise with Democrat voters. Did she do enough to explain herself, or is this just the amen corner of the media cheering her on?
I think it's the Democrats rallying to Hillary now that it's evident that Biden is not running and she'll be the nominee. And she could be Attila the Hun and the Democrats would still be saying that. But what I think is significant is that after that testimony, only 32% of the American people, general election voters, find her honest and trustworthy. So she's got to get the votes of 18% of America that doesn't trust her and doesn't like her. Tough assignment.
Dick, you have penned a new column talking about the 4-year rule in terms of media coverage. What is that 4-year rule?
I noticed when I worked for Clinton that for 3 years, the media, led by the New York Times and the Washington Post, panned the living hell out of us. Every day there was a negative story. Then the 4th year came, and all of a sudden the sun came out. There was never a negative comment. Everything was positive and pro-Clinton because it was an election year. And I said, what gives here? And then one day I got a phone call from Joe Lelyveld, who was the managing editor of the New York Times. And he said, Dick, we'd like to do an interview with President Clinton. And I said, well, Joe, given how you guys have, panned the hell out of him, I'm not so sure he wants to sit down with you. Then 2 days before the interview, I got a phone call from Todd Purdom, who was the guy assigned to write the story, do the interview. And he said, let's have a drink. I just want to go over with you the questions we're going to ask. That's like the catcher giving the batter the signals before the pitch comes in. And then he helpfully said, any other questions you'd like to add? And I wrote out a few, and he faithfully answered them. And when we prepped Clinton the day before the interview, it was the easiest prep we'd ever done. We had the whole script there. We knew everything they would ask. Clinton scripted his replies and hit it out of the park during the interview. So I concluded the 4th year rule, which is the media will attack a Democratic candidate or incumbent for 3 years. And then once they become the Democratic nominee or the presumptive nominee, they'll roll over and play dead.
Fair enough. Dick Morris, co-author of the bestseller Power Grab, Obama's Dangerous Plan for a One-Party Nation. Be sure to get your copy by visiting powergrab411.com. We'll be right back.